Kiannaa Sage here from Being in Sync 366 video series. Today I'm doing Q&A. So always get lots of questions, but I don't always talk about what the questions are that I get. But I thought it would be helpful, these 3 questions that I've gotten most recently. First question, Kiannaa, how do I become aligned when I am seeing so much dysfunction in my work environment and my environments that I'm exposed to? So, could be your work environment, your home environment, it could be family environment where you sense other people are not really in alignment with the direction that you're going. You see, when you change, this is one of the secrets to my successes with my teams is when there is one person that changes, it changes the entire dynamics within the group. People think they have to focus on the entire group to get the group to change, but they don't. One person can change the environment of an entire team. Same is true with families and so forth. So how do I become more aligned? I think the biggest thing, and this goes back to the first week of videos that I put out, is to know what you value. And if what you are valuing is in alignment with being in those environments, then you're good and you don't have anything to worry about. The conflict comes when you realize that your values and those values of the people around you might not be the same. And therefore, that creates some discord. And this is where your alignment becomes a priority. Do you submit or abdicate your personal responsibility for your own self and go with the flow of somebody else's desires? Or do you stay in your power and decline to go into discord? I think the later of the two is the best choice to make. It's also not the most popular choice. So you have to be willing to be unpopular to align with your values, because ultimately your values are what's going to help you sustain what's called inner strength. And many people who have abdicated their personal power lack inner strength. And when we lack inner strength, we have many vulnerabilities within our energy field that bring in disturbances. Those disturbances can be chaos, drama, dark forces, pain, suffering, depression, and sadness. All of those will derail somebody who is going to become aligned. So going back to what you value is super important. So how do I become aligned? Align with your values. That will always help you within environments that are not aligned. It'll help you make choices. It'll help you make decisions of conversations you are or are not willing to have. So hopefully that helps to answer that question. How do I know if I am fighting for my limitations and for my comfort zone? Well, if you even have the thought of that, the truth is that you're fighting for your comfort zone. And what does that do to you? It's debilitating. It takes away your joy and sucks the life out of you. And it allows other energies, dark forces, people to suck the life out of you too. You'll notice that people will make fun of you for doing things that feel good. People will be sarcastic and they will poke fun. They will, they'll be passive aggressive with you. Those are people who want you to stay in your comfort zone so you can be under their control and influence. Now, most people don't like to think of themselves as being under control or influence. But let's just say you have a healthy habit that you're doing and you try to get your friends to go along with that healthy habit. And they laugh at you and they say, hell no. And then you have a choice to go along with the crowd or to do the healthy habit. What's your choice? So misery loves company. And I will say this, and I said this in my newsletter today, that, when you are following your spiritual practices, You will often be guided to do things that you don't want to do, but you're doing them because you know you need to do them and because it's better for you to do them than to not do them. And the choice really becomes on, do I want to grow and expand or do I want to remain the same? And do you have to do things you don't want to do to be aligned? 100%. Many of the things that require alignment require you not liking them. So get out of your head about thinking that you have to like what you're being guided to do, what's being guided as good for you, and realize that your ego mind will take you down a rabbit hole and say, I don't want to be miserable. This sucks. This isn't good for me. Blah, blah, blah. Your mind will tell you like some BS stories. Don't even let that enter the realm. You just go do what needs to be done because you know it's best for you. You know it's good for you. Your guidance has told you it's good for you. Forget what your ego mind is telling you about, oh, I don't want to be cold today, or I don't want to get wet, or I don't want to do this because I don't want to sweat. I don't want to be uncomfortable. That's the ego mind. Don't let that derail you from alignment. Okay. And this question is quite the question. How do I do what I do? So, most of you probably don't even understand what I do, even though you've had sessions. So, what do I do? Energy psychology is the arrangements or rearrangements or the transmutation of patterns. Everything in life runs in patterns. There's not one thing that doesn't have a pattern associated with it. So, what do? I address patterns. Now, how do I do what I do is different, and it's so the number one thing in the how I do what I do is I have a very strong inner connection. That's one thing. Number two, I am very intentional. I don't have one session with any clients for as long as I can remember where I didn't have an intention, a very clear intention to help raise consciousness, and for people to feel and express more freedom within themselves. How that happens, I don't control. Because it's different for everybody. Sure, I have programs like the Peace Program and Radiant Power and the Elevate Program. I have programs, those are like processes that I follow that is regular, but it's different for everybody. Everybody experiences those programs different because they're different. And also, I adjust those programs to each person. So nothing is prescriptive with patterns because we are all unique. And the quicker we understand that we're unique and that the way I do things is different than how somebody else might do them, it's fine. You got to find out what resonates with you. For me, results are massively important. And if what I'm doing is not getting results, I'm going to change it. Doesn't matter who I'm working with. Results matter. Change matters. Shifting and transmuting matters. Transcending problems and issues and challenges, that matters. That matters to me. And it should matter to you. And you should want to work with people who that matters to. Now, I don't know if that answered the question how I do what I do, but I think that gives some big insights into how I do what I do. So, love your questions. Feel free to ask me more questions. I might add this into a regular monthly thing. So we'll see. All right. I hope you have a great day. Bye.